Welcome, Zack. Good to have you here today.
Appreciate you, brother.
What is your name and what do you do?
So I'm Zack Ouassil. I'm a sophomore at Newberry College. I play lacrosse. I'm a face-off guy. And on the side, I like to coach face-offs for the Faceoff Academy.
What is the Faceoff Academy?
About 15 years ago, some of the best pro guys from the MLL back then, they got together and came up with a training academy. I don't know if it was exactly called the Faceoff Academy back then, but that's what it is now. And basically, it's the biggest training academy for the face-off specialty position in lacrosse.
So what's so important about the aspect of face-offs in lacrosse?
So basically, the face-off in the sport is getting your team the possession. At the beginning of every quarter, you take a face-off, and after every goal, you take a face-off. So basically, you score a goal, you want to go out there and win your team the ball again, so you could go out there and score a goal again. That's basically our job, or what we want to do as players out there on the field.
So what would a typical day of training look like for you?
I mean, at school, it's kind of a different routine than, being at home during break, obviously, because there's school and other stuff going on. But if I'm at home during break, I'm definitely going to wake up, go to the gym, mandatory sauna session after the gym for sure, sauna or steamer, mandatory. Get some food in me, and then definitely face-offs. I try to do 3 days, so it's like face-off, hit the gym, do some sort of stick work. So whether it's like GBs or shooting on a goal or playing wall ball, getting my passes in, lefty, righty. That's the typical routine at school. Very oriented towards like your academics. So practice lacrosse after you're done with all your classes. And then obviously we got the team lifts and we got to get our homework done. So there isn't really much time to do much else during the week in season. But out of season, we'll have like weeks where we only practice like 2 times or 3 times a week. So we'll be able to have a lot of downtime to whatever we want to do, work on ourselves or hang out with friends, social time for yourself, whatever it is.
What would a typical day of work at the Faceoff Academy look like?
Usually I'll be coaching between 5 to 15 or even 20 kids per session. We'll come in, we'll do a warm up. We all know each other and we came up doing this stuff together. So super easy, super like we know what we're doing, quick warm up, and then we get into it. Usually we'll come in, we'll do a quick like dynamic warm up or like a stretch. And then we'll get into, we do a lot of technique work, especially if we got younger guys in the session, just because like we really want them to hammer the proper technique and proper mechanics. So by the time they get to that older age, it's just second nature to them and they could just react to the whistle knowing they're going to do the same technique every single time. So we love to hammer techniques, whether it's clamps, rakes, counters, and then we'll get into a lot of partner work. Not live face-offs, but we want to get the technique work in with the partner in front of us. So a lot of counter work is usually what we would do with the partner. And then obviously we got to get our live reps in. 15 and 20 minutes of live reps, and then at the end we'll do like a little tournament mode, like round robin, and then the two guys face off at the end, and then we'll get a champion, give him some gear or something like that at the end. Sort of like got to earn the gear, you know what I'm saying, at the end. Back in the day, it was like super cool when you won it because like you got posted and all that, and that's how you got all the follows and all the clout. So
what is the age range that you're working with?
I mean, any age range, really. I've worked with 9-year-olds and I've worked with kids that are even older than me. We're all always learning. I'm always learning too. Working with older kids, they could learn from me and I could even learn from them. You know what I'm saying? Face-offs is really about just like everyone has their own technique, and face-offs is really just like being a sponge and taking what you think is the best techniques from everyone you've learned from and then just putting it into your own craft. Yeah, 9-year-olds to even older than me, yeah.
Sounds good. What are the skills required to be a good coach, and how do those skills allow you to progress at the academy?
I just think that the biggest thing with coaching is just like experience. Coming up, I learned face-offs and and lacrosse, the sport in general, just super quick. I started like actually playing my sophomore year of high school. I really had to like get good at it quick because I wanted to be good and I wanted to, end up getting a scholarship or something like that for college or something. My whole philosophy is like just being experienced and being able to even show the kids film of you doing it and it working. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest thing. Me personally, I just think coming up playing lacrosse, like New York is such a hotbed, especially for face-offs. A bunch of Division 1 guys came out of our area, and even our high school. We had like 3 or 4 Division 1 face-off guys, like while we were all in high school together. I just think that the experience that I was blessed to receive in such a quick time and being able to pick that up and improving and giving back to the kids and helping them improve. I think that's like the most important thing when it comes to being a good face-off coach, for sure.
What are the most challenging aspects of being a coach at the academy?
The biggest thing about face-offs is like there are different face-off training. There are different training academies, right? So you got the Faceoff Factory and you got Faceoff Academy, Inner Circle, a whole bunch of different groups that, they all have their own kids, right? So when they teach those different styles to those kids and those kids go like weekly to those people, they're so used to what they're taught from those people. And then like those kids coming to us and then us like giving them our philosophy and what we coach and what we teach. That's, I think, the hardest part, because, a lot of kids now they're just going to trust their ego and be like, oh, well, this guy taught me this, so I don't really want to learn more. I love the challenge, though. I mean, I'll work with any kid. I understand that there are different styles of facing off, and the biggest thing with me is when you pay to work with me, like I'm going to try to help you out to the best of our ability, even if you work with someone else weekly.
What are the most rewarding aspects of this position?
Coaching, I've always said it, like just like giving the kids your knowledge and then seeing them learn and apply it and then be successful. That's honestly the most rewarding feeling I've had in the whole sport of lacrosse. Like even playing, like that tops any goal I've scored or any big face-off I've won, any assists or anything, ground ball, whatever. Coaching a kid and giving him your knowledge and then him saying, yes, coach, and then putting it out there on the field and it's successful and he gets his team a goal or he wins that face-off and now he feels more confident. That's definitely the most rewarding feeling I felt in the sport of lacrosse, for sure.
What are some of the personality traits that one must possess to be a good coach?
I think you definitely got to have your 3 C's. You got to be calm, cool, collected. You're going to be working, like I said before, you're going to be working with a lot of different kids from different places. Even if you're a college lacrosse coach, and you're from Maryland where they have their own style of play and you bring in a Canadian or something like that, it's going to be, you got to be able to adjust to any situation you're put in. I think that's the biggest thing, especially in in-game situations. If your game plan didn't go as well as you wanted it to go, being able to adjust and staying calm, cool, and collected, that's definitely the biggest traits you need to have when it comes to coaching, for sure. 100%.
Where do you see the nature of future positions in the Faceoff Academy going? What is the vision for the future of the Faceoff Academy?
Social media is definitely going to be the biggest thing, especially as it's like growing and improving year to year, more platforms coming out and stuff like that. Just being able to stay hip, so to speak, with all the trends and, even face-offs themselves, they change every 4 years. Face-offs used to be on a knee.
Yeah,
and then before that, it used to be before that, it used to be on a knee, and then you could just pull it out without popping it into the front of your stick. So just being able to apply good coaching with all the new trends and all the stuff going on in the world, and being able to keep up with all the all the techniques and all the skills and all the trends and stuff like that. That's the biggest thing. And we've definitely been able to adjust to everything. You know, when we had knee down kids, all the best kids came from the Faceoff Academy. Standing neutral grip, all the best guys that are killing it in college now, Faceoff Academy guys. I think just being able to stay and Faceoff Academy, honestly, they do a good job, you know, hiring young coaches, and not only hiring them, but trusting them and being able to say, hey, like, you guys are like the new faces of this position now, and we trust you guys to spread the knowledge that we taught you guys. And I think that's always the coolest thing, is like, there's no egos when we're all together as the Faceoff Academy. Like the oldest guys like Greg, Jerry, they treat even the youngest coaches with the most respect, because, you know, we all learn from each other. We all learn from those older guys, and you know, that's the whole point of coaching, is being able to coach, and then they can be successful with what you coach them.
Are opportunities to play at the Division I level becoming more or less scarce?
I think they're going to become more scarce for sure. I mean, every team needs a face-off guy in each recruiting year, but at the same time, they have just applied these scholarship. There's this whole scholarship situation where there's going to be 48 or at least 45 kids that are granted a full scholarship. So basically, teams aren't going to be recruiting more than that, because like they're going to give out those full scholarships, and then they're like, that's it. That's going to be our cap. After this year, especially, we're going to see a lot of cuts from Division I teams that keep a hefty sideline. So yeah, overall, like, I think positions, not just with faceoff, goalie, even attack, midi, they're going to be scarce, and it's definitely going to be lacrosse of the future. Is definitely going to be the most competitive lacrosse, because it's going to be all the actual best kids who coaches actually think that they deserve a full scholarship to play.
Why would you suggest or recommend for someone to take on the position of coaching at the Faceoff Academy?
Why we would coach at Faceoff Academy? I mean, I think it's proven to be the number one, you know, even academy for all of lacrosse. Like, I don't think there's been any position specific group that has sent more kids to be all Americans and all pros, even at the highest levels. So being able to be a part of that coaching staff that able to mold those kind of players, like, it's an honor, honestly. Like, being a Faceoff Academy coach is probably one of the biggest honors I've had in my life, to be honest.
Yeah, that's why I selected you for today. So my final question for today's interview is, what advice would you give to someone who is trying to become a coach at the Faceoff Academy and a good coach in general?
Being able to adjust to whatever kids are thrown at you. If you're a coach of a team, I know that a prep school or a college or something like that, I know that you're probably going to be recruiting all the kids that you get. But at the end of the day, like, kids have their own, you know, inner demons and stuff like that. So they might not be able to produce what you think that they're going to be able to produce every time that you want them to. You know, so being able to just adjust and, you know, trust all your guys to not only play well if someone else isn't, but to, you know, hold everyone up and hold everyone accountable and bring everyone up and make sure that you have a team, or make sure you have a group of guys that wants each other to get better, you know, every single day. And not to have guys with egos, and if you do have a kid with an ego, you know, try your hardest to coach him to where he could, you know, look at things a little differently.
All right, that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for
of course,
coming on the interview today. I really appreciate
it.
Do
Man.
you have any final words for the crowd?
I mean, thank you for having me, and I appreciate you thinking about, you know, inviting me to be on this. You could have invited mad other people, but you picked me, so I appreciate that. And yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing.